Good morning, everyone, and welcome to MobieTalks. My name is Laura, and I'm the marketing manager at MobieTrain, and today I'll be your host. So, for those who don't know MobieTrain yet, we are the all-in-one platform that helps frontline teams, customer-facing teams, to learn, communicate, and perform better every day. How we do it? It's very simple. We provide them with a very engaging learning experience and new ways to stay connected and improve their own performance. To give you an example, brands can use MobieTrain to train their own people on the brand itself, their values, their product or services. They can use the community chat to talk and connect with their own employees or with the different store. They can use the our AI chatbot to provide a real-time support, but they can also use the coaching tool to be sure that this knowledge will be applied every day in their daily job. Of course, if you want to learn more about MobieTrain, we will only be happy to show it. But today we're not here to talk about MobieTrain. As you may notice from what I was saying, our focus is on people. And that's the reason why 2 years ago we created MobieTalks. MobieTalks, it's like a virtual space that we created to connect every month with people, brands, and experts and explore how business can better engage, train, and motivate their frontline teams. Today, we're going to dive into a very specific topic. We've been talking about employer branding, talent attraction, turnover, but today we will start from one question. So, how do you keep your team aligned across multiple locations? I know that it's not easy as it sounds. So, if you're working in retail hospitality, you may know that this is a real challenge, especially if you're opening new stores or new restaurant. And the reason it's very simple. When you have store or branch, they are doing things differently. Usually, your employees can feel like disconnected, not well prepared, and of course, delivering, let's say, a consistent customer experience across all the different store. It's not easy. Like it's not easy to train and onboard people in all those stores at the same times. The question that I'm going to ask now, and then I'm going to introduce our guest for this MobieTalk, is like, what if we could bring everyone together on the same page with the same standard and make it even engaging? This is the topic that we're going to discuss today, and we will find out how to create a standard training process across all locations to keep your team connected, but also to be sure that everyone will deliver a very high quality service. And we'll do it together with Lene Bosman, project manager in Dampshop, and Sven Vassel. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always having some problem with last name. Is it correct?
Falke. Yeah.
Okay. Sven is our customer success manager at MobieTrain. So, thank you for being here because we're very happy to have you both. I'm going to mention, as I was doing before, that we also have Julia, our marketing specialist. You cannot see her here, but she's taking care of the chat. So please don't be shy. If you have a question, if you want to share your own experience, use the chat and we will be more than happy to reply. So I think that we can officially start. So before we talk about the training strategy, Lene, your brand is shaping, let's say, the vaping experience. But like many multi-location businesses, I can imagine that it's not easy to train and onboard all those people and make sure that can tell the same story and sell your products in the same way, creating a very high-level customer experience. Can you tell us first something more about Dampshop? And then can you also mention the biggest challenge that you encounter?
Yes, of course. So, well, first of all, I maybe want to say I will be probably talking often in we, because I think it's very important to mention my colleague Jannik Koenen, who helped me throughout this whole experience. And I'm very for me, it's very important to put credits where they belong. And he certainly belongs into this story too. But when I talk about Dampshop, we are a company. We're existing for almost 9 years in August this year. And I am part of the team for almost 8. So I saw the growth that we had. I saw the company growing. And throughout the years, it was very important for us to actually be the reference for people in Belgium who want to quit smoking. That was one of our missions, that we were going to guide the people and advise the people in how they can quit. Also, we are the ambassador of tobacco harm reduction, which means that we're going to find ways to make sure that it's not as unhealthy as smoking. And we want to also ensure that this information is being eliminated. There is so much information online on the vaping topic, like in the vaping scene. There is a lot of information that is not right or not correct. And what we try to do with Dampshop is make sure that everybody has the right information. And that's where the training is very important, because we need our people to be trained and have all the knowledge necessary for, to explain all the people that we want to help to quit smoking.
Okay, I think that it's very clear. Like you were mentioning, like training can play a crucial part in that, and we know that sometimes it's not easy. Now I'm going to ask a question to Sven, also to understand. You're the customer success manager. Is this something that other brands are? Is this a challenge that also other brands are facing, and how, let's say, they're tackling these challenges?
Yeah, I think it's a common challenge, especially I think in the retail environment where you have so many different stores and scattered. I've been in retail in the past myself, and there's always a bit of, one of the challenges is a bit bridging the gap between the headquarters and the stores. Not necessarily headquarters, but you have product teams, you have marketing teams, etc., and you have this kind of fantastic story to tell. And one of the main challenges is you want to, of course, get this story, that mission that Lene just explained, you want to get that to your end consumer, of course. How do you make sure that you have your employees that are working in those different locations share that narrative, share that story in an inspirational way with their customers, which I think is a challenge for every single retailer out there.
Yeah, indeed, I do agree on that, because I feel also like the core of your company needs to be like, you all need to know what the goal is, what the mission is, and work towards the same goal. And I think that is something that today we'll talk about it a lot.
Okay. I have one question. So now we were talking about the different challenges, and of course, when you realize that you have a challenge, it's not always easy to find the right solution. Lene, what led you to the decision to start a collaboration with MobieTrain? And another question is like, how did you introduce and implement the platform across your teams?
Yes. So, well, first of all, I had a conversation with Costa, I think 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago for the first time.
Okay.
And Costa came to explain MobieTrain, how it worked, why it would be a good addition to our company, to upscale and everything. And I think a lot of the people sitting in that room from Dampshop were very quickly convinced that it is a great platform. The thing was just, we were focusing really, really hard on getting bigger, like to get the market in our advantage, that we didn't really have the budget to put towards something like this. Because in that moment, I think we were around maybe 30, 40 shops, I think somewhere in between. And now 2 years later, we're on 64 shops. So throughout the years, we had these phases in which we grew really, really fast, and we just had to follow. And we had to make sure that we had people. We had to make sure that the people were kind of ready to put in the shops and to sell our very specific product. So it was very important for us that at a certain point we would have something to help us. So after a while, Costa reached out again, because he was following up on his, which is a nice thing. And I was happy that it happened at the moment that it did, because I was able to convince. We just had a new CEO also, who had a clear vision of what Dampshop needed and everything. And I was able to invite him again and to let him explain the product again. He explained again just like he did 2 years before that, and he was able to explain even new features that added to the platform that would be like an advantage for everybody. And then our CEO, Pascal, he told me like, I do believe in this platform. Make me a one-pager and put in that one-pager what it will cost us, what we will save, what the investment will be, and how quick we will get it back. And tell me what an impact it will have on our company, the positive impact. Are there negative things? Are there this and that? So I started to write everything down, and it was it was all positive, of course, for me, writing it down, and I came to, I think, 3 pages. So I looked at Jannik and I was like, I have to put this in a one-pager. I have no idea, first of all, how I'm going to do that. So after a little bit of puzzling, we were able to do it, and Pascal decided to present it to the owners of the company, who are, of course, the investors. And it didn't take such a long time, and it actually went through. And Jannik and I were like, oh, if this goes through, like, how are we going to manage this? It's going to be a lot to do. Like, we didn't know what we were in for. Like, it was a big platform, and to ensure that it would be like used in the way that you can use it, we had to have a plan, but we had no idea how to start. So at first we had Sarah as our customer success manager, and she's a very happy, positive person who, after the first meeting, Jannik and I were like, it's going to be fine. So we were reassured, like, we have the guidance from MobieTrain, afterwards also from Sven, of course. We had the right guidance to make it into a success. And I remember very well that Sarah told me, we at MobieTrain, in 8 weeks, we can have you up and running. No problem. We will help you. We will set it up for you, do the first things, make a first course with you guys, so you can see how it works, how the platform works, how it comes across and everything. And Jannik and I were like, good, 8 weeks, that's what we're going to do. And then we took a step back because we realized, okay, but what after those 8 weeks? What are we going to do? How are we going to make sure that it keeps on going? Because it's an ongoing process. You have to make sure that you have content. You have to make sure that you have things that people want to read, you or want to know or want to learn. And we said to Sarah, you know what? We're not going to do it in 8 weeks. We're going to take our time a little bit. We're going to do a testing phase. So at that point, we're coming to implementing the platform, and we said, you know what? We are just a team of 2 people. We cannot do it just the 2 of us. I think that's very clear. I think in any company, you need to have a village of people to make something work. So our first goal was to get the management so excited that they would want to be a part of this. So we had a meeting, we invited you guys, we said like, hey, come help us, entertain, and show us visuals that we didn't have yet, to make sure that they see what the platform can do and that they can be like us. We were like really happy. We couldn't wait. We were, that was how happy we were that we had something new that we could use in the company. After those meetings, the management was excited. They all had a lot of work to do, so we had to be behind our butts sometimes to get them to help us and to like be there for us when we needed them. But in the end, they were all there for us. And again, like Jannik and I, we maybe did the main part of making everything, but we couldn't have done it without the management. And it's actually from there that we just started to build. We had a testing phase. We chose people out of the management, of course, but we knew those people, we have a kind of a small management, so we needed people out of it because we all have a lot of work that could actually test the platform, test the content, see what we made, if it was an addition to the company, if it would help us scale up. So we chose very specific people in the company. The trainers, for example, were one group of people that we chose because we already had trainers, but I think after we will come back to what they are, who they are, and what they do. They were some of the people that we wanted. And then we made sure that we had all types of people. You have people who can talk really well, good salespeople, but they are shit at using a computer. which is not a bad thing. You need those people. You need those people to see if the platform works. So we kind of had a very like different types of people group selected. Like this is the people that we're going to do the test phase with. And I think we tested for a month. We had some content that we asked our managers, like, what is things that you struggle with daily? Do you get a lot of questions on? If we make something about this, would it help you get less questions for you to be able to focus on your job better than you are now? And we just started building from there. We tested it. And then I think a month and a half later, we kind of were ready to go live. But of course, in that testing phase, Yannick and I, we are both very chaotic, structured people, if that makes sense. And we like to have things organized. So we kind of built our own content planner and we started to fill in everything. So we would have an idea of all the things that we would have to prepare, who we need, when we need them, when things need to be done, so that we can, again, be behind people to make sure that we have content that we need, because we cannot do everything alone.
Lena, can I just quickly want to touch on something you mentioned, which I think is really fantastic and interesting. So sometimes when we're going to start going through this process, we have kind of the assumptions of what our people in the stores need in terms of training, and because we have our story, we want to go to the people, and we have our they need product, they need compliance, they need this and this and that. I think it's really fantastic that you went to those people and did a research first to say, what do you guys need? You know, what is going to help you do your job better and things like that. Were there a lot of things that came out of that you said like, oh, yeah, that's interesting, because we might have had our assumptions on this is what we want to do, but this is giving us much more input and feedback from the stores itself.
Yeah, of course, because I feel I've been in the field myself years ago. But once you get a little bit out of the field and you go more behind the scenes, you often forget things change, things go evolve, and they become something different. So there is a lot of things that came out of it, actually. I'm thinking of an example right now. There is not anything popping up, but maybe the things that we thought we should post or should make content about were not as important for the people. They were maybe focused more on sales, where we were focused on procedures, like how do you do this or that, and they just want to have knowledge on products. Also, for example, we started making product videos of our devices, because they're very specific. Every device is different. Every device works kind of the same, but it's still different. They have specifics. And we were filming from a certain angle. We thought, over the top, it would show everything. It's easy to film. It's easy to show everything. And somebody told us, hey, I'm a little older. Even with my glasses on, I cannot see everything that is on there. So Yannick and I thought, okay, we have to find a different angle to film all of this. So actually, a few weeks ago, a week or 2 weeks ago, we did the first video in a different way. And we immediately had positive feedback on, hey, it's way better. I can finally see everything, and it's not so difficult for me. I don't have to zoom in on everything, or I don't have to really. So I think it is very important to make sure that you include the right people.
Yeah, you start mentioning filming automatically already. I don't think it's the standard out there, but I think we see a lot that video-based content in terms of learning is becoming very, very popular.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can imagine it's also a bit scary, right? It's not like I have we need a film crew, we need to script it. It's expensive, a lot of money. How do you guys approach doing that?
Well, I did a small course on marketing, and in that course, there is one thing that really stuck in my mind. Everything is ruled by social media, and everything you will find on social media, the first 15 seconds matter. After that, people are not engaged anymore. They will lose interest and they will scroll on. So if you have to think that you will make a video of 15 seconds, for example, people will watch it one time, those 15 seconds. Does it really matter that you have the best equipment, the best, or the, like, it does not. People will watch it one time and they will know, they will have heard it. I still think video is the best way to learn people. I think visualizing stuff and listening to somebody, I think it's a good way of teaching. The only thing that we did is I'm filming things with my iPhone. Nothing, nothing like special. It's an iPhone 13, I think. Also, it's not the last one even. The only thing that we did is we bought a microphone because my microphone was not great anymore because my phone is a little older. So we bought these, and I just have them here because I didn't know if my sound would be okay. We just bought these microphones from Rode. So you plug the receiver into your phone. You plug the microphone onto your shirt and you install it through an app on your phone. And the filming and everything will have great quality of sound. And I think also a lot of people listen to podcasts these days. They don't want to watch, they don't have the time because they are on the bus and they don't want people to know what they're watching or listening to or whatever. So the sound was for us the most important thing. And if that was okay, then we really didn't have anything to worry about. And of course, Yannick also told me before this webinar, he told me, like, don't forget to tell or to say that at first we were always there with our cameras and we would say like, hey, we are here with our phones and we're going to film something, but just act like how you are. And people would immediately be like, okay, I have to, like, you know.
Exactly. And I have a question on that because as you were mentioning, video is like crucial right now when you want to communicate something. And I know that because as a marketing team in MobieTrain, we're also trying to create more and more content. We invite fans to one content together, and we can clearly see that people are reacting in a totally different way. But I have a question for you. How do you engage your people? How do you invite them to, you were telling us that, of course, people, when put in front of a camera, sometimes they're not acting very natural. How do you engage them?
Well, I think a lot of the things that you can do for them is have a certain energy yourself to help them and to make sure that they are just themselves. I think when you want to get a message across, it's important that you can be yourself. When you have to, like, not everybody's an actor. Like, I'm also not a good actor. I'm just somebody who likes to talk in front of a group of people, and I like to tell a story, and that's who I am. But not everybody is like that. But the thing is, at first it was very awkward. But now people of our team come ask us like, hey, I have a great video idea. Can I speak in front of the camera? So we just search a little bit the way that it works for the people that have to make a video. If it's not working that we are in a room, like, I will set the camera up, I will plug you onto the microphone and do your thing, do as many takes as you need, and we will figure out the rest. And I think if you put the people in the right place, the things that they are good at, then you have to work together. The biggest part of this is the teamwork. And I think when you get, again, the people excited, then it's don't get me wrong, you have to work, and if you want to ensure that it's good content, you have to think about it, and you have to not just be like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this. It can be in there, but when you prepare and you schedule and you plan and you put the right people in the right place, it's and also the platform just makes it really, really easy. I mean, the platform is really dummy proof. Like, if you never used it, you would still be able to get something online. Maybe not with all the things that it can do, but you would still be able to get it online. And then again, they're the like people like Sven and like Sarah, they come in and they again help you. Hey, we saw this, and maybe you can like even do it better in this way because you also have this option or this option. And that's just, when you start, you cannot do everything great. I mean, you just have to, that's like, you cannot be liked by everybody. You just have to accept those things. Also, your content, it will not be great from the beginning. and something our CEO also said is, in 1 year from now, you will look back and you have to be able to laugh. You have to say like, hey, do you remember how we did it back then? Like, how stupid were we? Or how, you remember how difficult we made? That's what we want to make sure we don't want to have a unhealthy pressure on top, like on ourselves. We just want to have fun with it and go along the way and make sure that everybody is engaged.
Wow. I mean, I was writing down some things that you said, and I can see a lot of best practice, like starting with a small group, then engaging with the management as well, and make them love the project too, or the plan that you're making and the way you're engaging your team. I have a question for Sven. Is there any other best practice that you would like to share based on your experience?
About the are we
About
still
how to make the best of the platform, how to show and introduce the platform to the frontline team, and how to engage them.
Yeah, so I think Lena, you did it as well. But what we do with with other clients as well is if we are scattered, whether it's like in a restaurant business or in retail or even in logistics where you have different depots, it yeah, if you're based in like an head office, you cannot be the only person responsible for the success and the results, right? So when I look at middle management or store managers, restaurant managers, depot managers, you know, it doesn't really matter. We need to get those people on board from day one to make sure they help you. I would say spread the gospel a little bit to the rest of their team. They have such a huge impact. And what I think Lena mentioned, what is interesting is that if you start very early in the process there to involve your people in shaping the platform, in shaping your learning strategy, you involve them very early, they will become ambassadors automatically already to then go out to the field. I think that's a super important one, because if you, and we've seen really good successes. You know, sometimes it's just in the beginning when you launch a new platform, it's just new. You know, you have your early adopters, you have people that are a bit more, they come in a bit later, which is not negative, because sometimes they are just a bit insecure, or that, you know, they have this kind of feeling. It's not that they do not want to do it, but the better you share those experiences and you get those ambassadors in play from day one, the better the impact will be on the total population. And I think that's yeah, that's maybe what I want to share. And I think you guys did it as well, right, with the store managers.
Yeah, indeed, because you guys provide a dashboard in which we can follow up all of the employees that are registered. And for example, in the beginning, when you open the dashboard, the first thing you see is how much percentage of the people that you added to the platform is actually registered. And when we rolled out everything, we were following it up like crazy. We're a little autistic maybe on it, but we needed to see that 100%. Like we Yannick and me, we could not let it go. So when somebody wasn't registered, you can see which people are invited but didn't register. So every single day you can resend the invite link. So we would just spam people, and we would do that for maybe 5 days. And like Sven said, in our company, the middle management, they're called the sales managers, and they have assistants. And we would just like stalk them and say like, guys, these people didn't register yet. We need to have like 100%, make it happen. And
Yeah,
of course,
and I think because you were mentioning 65, so 65 stores, of course, it's maybe not a lot of people working in one location, but how many employees do you have on average?
we are now around 130, 140, with everybody included. We're just under 150. And indeed,
I mean,
it's not a lot of people, but still, like, also in the vaping scene, and that's really like, I think everybody can find excuses, but the vaping scene is a really different branch in the retail. It's very specific. It's difficult for us sometimes to find people to work for us. It's like it's often younger people, you know, so it's a specific kind of employees that we will attract in Dampshop. And it is just very important that they have the right guidance and that they are pushed to.
And I think that's really interesting because I mean 150 employees is already quite a lot, and then we also have clients that have maybe 900 employees or 1,000, 2,000 employees. Yeah, even you that you say like, okay, we're gonna like resend registration emails, we're gonna communicate, we're gonna in the beginning the adoption. It's so important because it would be naive to say we have a target audience of 900 or thousands of people. We send one email and then we expect everybody to, you know, be adopted and be on the platform. I think that would be wishful thinking. So I think it's a nice best practice, and it's a end-to-end story, right? It's involving the store managers, it's boosting the adoption from the beginning, it's teasing before you're launching the platform, it's community, you know, it's everything together that brings in the success, get all of those people on the platform, not just, you know,
But
one
what
one
is very
single email or
indeed, but what was very important for us is we wanted them to also know how to register. So before MobieTrain, before we introduced the platform, we had another communication platform that we were not really happy with because it's not doing what we wanted to do. But we are also having on WhatsApp, for example, a group where everybody is in the group. We just manage it with a few people to have general communication. And we asked you guys, do you have a video on the explanation of how you can like set everything up on your phone? We use that video, we send it in our groups, and we did that, I think, 2 days before we actually sent the link. So a lot of people went to your website, they downloaded the app already, and they put it on their phones without even being invited to the platform. And that's what I'm trying to explain the whole time already. You have to get them excited even before it happens. And when that works, when you are able to do that, the rest will follow itself. It's really like it's not that difficult.
Wow.
nice.
Yeah, I think another thing that I would like to mention is that you set very specific goals and you did everything to reach that goal. So I think that this is something that it's very important to define. So we were talking about like the, let's say, the getting ready to introduce MobieTrain. What are the results that you are able to see now?
We are actually really happy with the results. Like I said before, with the dashboards, we were able to follow up everything really, really well. And we also made the decision that the middle management would not have access to the dashboard in the beginning because they still have a lot of work to do. They had to get to know the platform because, of course, Jannik and I saw it from a different perspective. And we decided, like, let's wait a month, 2 months maybe with giving them this access. We will give them all the numbers they need to motivate people, to make sure that everybody's engaged and whatever. And we just follow it up. We make it kind of an incentive to check, like Jannik and I both have that gene, I think, that we're programmed to see how we're doing. Because of course, when they're not doing good, we are not doing good. We wanted to work as a whole, like as a team, as everything. And what is also very important to make it work is to not put all the information you have in one time. We did it gradually. We said, like, if we're going to spam the platform, we're going to put so much information, people are not going to be able to finish everything. So we follow the numbers also to see, is everybody following and can we go on? Are we going too quick? Are we going too slow? We asked people this. We did in the news feed, you have this poll option that you can ask people for their opinions. And we decided that we wanted to do that at least once a month because we want to keep people engaged. We want them to have a little bit of a say in what they need. Because again, it's easy for us to think and to watch what the company might need, but the company will not do anything without the people. So you have to see it from both sides.
And are you starting to see those results already? Like people are more knowledgeable of the product, they're more comfortable in selling.
Yeah, the thing is, we wanted to have a balance between the serious businessness happening on the platform and the fun happening. So what Jannik and I did is we in MobieTrain you can work in categories. We categorized everything like we see it for Dampshop. And we just made sure that we also had a fun category but where they are still.
This is fun. This is not fun.
Yeah, no, it's more serious. Some things are like the law. We have a lot
Of course, of course.
It's very serious, so we try to keep it as small as possible, the training. But then we also have something like Dampshop TV, in which we go around on a certain topic and somebody will explain something, and it will be fun, and people can just watch it and enjoy it whenever they have time. So that's something that we made sure that we could do it that way.
Nice. Okay. Do we have any questions already?
I was checking right now. Wait. Don't be shy. So if you have any question, just share it with us. Okay, so we have a question from Ian. Just give me a second so I can show it on stage. So is the Dampshop done via Mobie?
So I think Ian is referring to Dampshop TV.
Sorry. Exactly. Yes. I was trying to understand the question a bit better. Okay, now it's clear.
Yes, it is done completely through MobieTrain. So in MobieTrain, you have these different formats of trainings that you can choose. There is also a video format in which you can just only put a video. And the thing that comes on top of it, which is very important in Belgium, we have the great thing of multiple languages. And with Dampshop, we are in the Flemish part, but also in the Wallonian part. So we have Flemish or Dutch-speaking people, but we also have French-speaking people. So all the Dampshop TV videos, we also make sure that there are subtitles underneath them. But it is
okay.
Like I do the editing of the video. I do it outside of MobieTrain, of course, but uploading in MobieTrain will be under the video format, and it's working really well. Actually, people are really waiting for those videos. So yeah.
Maybe I missed it, but how often do you publish those videos, the Dampshop TV?
Dampshop TV, in the beginning, we were thinking like, let's do it every week because it's very, we like to do it ourselves. We like to film. We like to annoy people. We like to, But then we realized like the subtitling part, AI is not as great yet with the Flemish language, maybe with the Dutch language, not the language, and all the accents that we have. So we are typing it out, translating it to French, and then putting the subtitles underneath it. And now I forgot your question, actually.
No, the question is how often?
The frequency.
So the frequency, just to make it work for us also, because we're only in a team of two, to edit and to make sure everything is on MobieTrain. Dampshop TV, we do it every 2 weeks on Friday. So also choose a day of the week where it's maybe a little bit more busy, where it's not necessary to really focus and learn, that you can start the weekend kind of chill and have some fun with it. Yeah.
Nice. Ian also mentioned he can relate as he's based in Switzerland. So it's like German, Swiss, Italian, French. So he can definitely relate.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, let me check is there any other question? Oh, we have another question, always from Ian. Okay, let me show it on stage. Could it be possible to see some example of those videos?
Well, for us, it's difficult to show the videos because we're very constricted by the law in the vaping scene. But if I can help you with just the topics, for example, starting last year, we had the excise, the tax implementation on vaping products, on liquids. And we have a machine to put seals on the products. So we let somebody of our logistics department explain how the device is working, how we are putting the seals on the products, showing the device itself, because it's a very big machine actually. Then we have now a law going in April of this year. It's the display ban, that we're not allowed to show any products anymore to
Mhm.
customers. Only when they want to buy something, you're allowed to take it, but not really show anything anymore. So our working guy is putting doors on all of the shelves that we already had in the shops. So we kind of filmed him. He's a very specific person with a very specific character that, or you like him or you don't. We decided to film him to also prepare the people like he's coming. We filmed that, explaining like what he's doing, where he's putting the doors, why he's doing it. Now, like for example, last week there was a documentary on vaping on the Flemish television. So we took that recording of fact checkers. It was like minors going into vape shops, also one of the shops they went to try to buy products. We are not allowed to sell to minors. There is specific types of products that we're not allowed to sell anymore. So that video, we will also put it on Mobie Train under the category of Dampshop TV, because it has information on vaping and again on making sure to not sell to minors, but still it's something to, they can enjoy watching it. They don't have to really focus. Those are the topics that, we try to do. Also, a topic that we're going to launch in Dampshop TV is, for example, a day in the life of. And with that, we want to go with our management, with our sales managers, for example, to show not just the people in the shop, but also maybe the people in the management. We don't always know what we do in a day from each other. To just show like how is a typical day looking for those people. And that's what we're trying.
Just coming back to Ian's question in the chat, perhaps we can also look, Laura. I know, of course, Lene, you have some sensitive information, which is for your employees. I guess a lot of customers will have that information. Perhaps we can, also look at some formats, Laura, like what's a good example, and just share some examples also with the audience later on or in the communication. I guess it's not about what's being told in the video, but more on like what's a good format. But I think some of those things like showing the machine, how does it work, explain it. That's sometimes so easy. We saw it with a DIY retailer as well, explaining like how does the mixer of the paint work and those kind of things with people from the field with more than 10, 20 years of experience. Why would you have somebody, no offense to people from the head office, but why would you have those people explaining it when you have fantastic people also in the field that can support you and create ambassadors through that? So I think that's a fantastic best practice.
Yes. I'm going to add something on that. Of course, after this MobieTalks, there will be the recording. So we will send you an email. And of course, there will be links and information that you can use to see more about Mobie Train. So if you have any question, then of course we can share all the information you want. We cannot share, of course, all the great things we're doing with Dampshop, but we can give you like an idea of all the different formats that you can use.
And as long as there is no products in the videos, like there is no problem of showing our content. Of course, it just we are not allowed to show any products, we cannot do any marketing around our products and everything. But also, I think when we're talking about all of these things, it's very important to, when you want to go into the field, indeed, you have these great people who do have the experience of being in their location store every single day. And we in Dampshop, at first, when we would onboard people, when we were a lot smaller, we would just say to a new person, we're going to put you in a shop where we have a good employee. But what is a good employee? What might be a good employee for you might not be a good employee for me. But when we grew, those good employees, and I'm going to categorize them in a category of, they just had a lot of knowledge on vaping. We decided to pick some people out of there and we would make them a trainer. And in the beginning, they all have a character. They all have their own personality, of course, and they all have their preferences. They vape themselves often. They all have preferences. So when people would be trained by those people, we could very clearly see, like, you're coming from that person, and you're trained by that person, and you're trained by that person. And for us, it's not a problem when you have a personality and you use that personality to tell your story or to explain something or share knowledge. But the knowledge that is being shared has to be the same, because vaping, when it comes to it, it's facts that you have to know, that you have to learn. And that's also a part that MobieTrain is playing a big part in. We have a standard training, a big training for people that onboard. We're still working on it actually now. Tomorrow is the deadline for the trainers to evaluate it. And then we're going to start translating it into trainings, because we're going to cut it up in smaller trainings for people that onboard. And where we were able to see in the past, you're coming from that person, you're coming from that person, we will now have people that are trained the same way. They will have the trainer as a backup to explain extra and to give extra knowledge or to give those examples from the field. But the knowledge that they will learn is something that we decided together with the trainers, of course, and the people here in the management that have the last say in these things. We build it up together. And I think, again, the biggest thing when you're asking like which kind of content, ask your people. They will give you the best ideas. Don't think it's not a one man or a one woman show. Use everybody. It will make them feel good in a way that they could help you. It will help you because you don't have to do it alone, and so on. And so on.
Laura, I know we're getting out of time. Do we have time for a last question that we have?
We always have time for another question.
Okay.
So I was waiting for Lena to. Okay, well done. So, do your localized employees do the trainings, watch the videos on their private device or a device in store?
Well, I think this is indeed a thing in every single company. In some fields, you might have also older employees who maybe don't have a device that is as like it's not a smartphone or something. So we give them both options. We explain them how to install the application on their phones and how to use it on their phones. But they also have the computer in the shops, because we have computers for our registers. They can use the computer to log into their own account and to do all the trainings on there. Very important is that they will log out again, but we also on that made a small training on what to keep in mind. So they have both. They can choose if they want to use their private phone, because of course they will do things at home too. We can see sometimes when we look in the evening at the numbers, we can see that people did things overnight because they're at home, they're at ease. Also the management here, for example, they say when I'm on the couch and I still feel like I want to read something or see something or see like the last communication or whatever, they can do it in their own time whenever they feel like it.
Cool.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for all the questions. Okay, we don't have any more questions, but of course, feel free to reach out to us. Let's say that you already explained everything. I was full of questions, but while telling your story, you already answered to all the questions that I had. So thank you so much, Lena. Thank you so much, Sven. It was really a pleasure. And thank you for all the people that joined this MobieTalks. Maybe Julia, you can share the link to the next MobieTalks. There will be another one next month. So we're expecting to see you all, and have a great day. See you very soon.
Have a great day, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.